everyone. It's Kara Lovehart here at Firefly Hollow Wellness, and I want to ask you a question. Did you know that you most likely have eaten a flower in your life? And the reason why I'm sharing that is we have Rissa Miller coming back to Firefly Hollow, and she's coming up to teach a class called Too Pretty to Eat, a guide to edible flowers. And you may not have known that you've actually probably already eaten a flower. So we're going to talk about Rissa's class coming up, what she'll be including in this class. And if you've never been to one of Rissa's classes before, it is highly informative, packed full of information, and practical tools and ways you can utilize flowers for your use. So Rissa, tell us a little about flowers and what are the examples of that we've eaten a flower before?
I am willing to bet, Kara, that everybody who's crossed the threshold of Firefly Hollow has eaten a flower in their life. For example, broccoli, cauliflower, artichoke, or asparagus, or maybe they've used vanilla extract, which is made from an orchid. And I think that flowers are an underrated food because anything colorful and vibrant is full of antioxidants. And it sort of has this magical quality that bright color, we always think of bright, colorful foods being things like raspberries or blueberries. Flowers are too, and they have all of that same phenomenal energy. Now, if you think about what a flower is, it is the reproductive part of the plant. That is the part where all of the energy is going to go because the object of a plant's lifespan is to procreate. So all of its good vitamins and minerals and medicine are going to be in there. And in so many cases, they're edible. There's a lot in the category of edible plants, I'm sorry, edible flowers that is completely accessible, not hard to find, not hard to grow. And it's so much fun to eat, really.
So, can you tell us a little bit about just some examples of the flowers that you'll be talking about? I know you're going to be sharing how to grow them,
Mhm.
even how to brew tea, and you have a little bit of a sharing point on brewing tea, and you also be sharing recipe guide.
Mhm. So as you know, I believe a class should, at the end, you should feel like you have usable knowledge, things that you can take forward from that class and actually do something with. I mean, theory is great, but something that's strictly academic isn't good in the real world. I love to create a class around things that you can actually do something with. So one of the most common ways to treat any plant is to make a tea. Most people don't know how to properly brew tea. I don't mean to sound bougie when I say that, but even most coffee shops don't know how to brew tea. You usually have to find a British tea room to find good tea, or an Asian tea room. They actually know how to handle tea. I think it's always so important as an herbalist, as someone who loves tea. I like to teach people the right way to brew tea. It changes the flavor, the aroma. It's completely different to have a great cup of tea as part of your experience of enjoying any plant material, but especially edible flowers. Flowers tend to be very fragile. And if you overbrew them, they can get bitter. So, I think one of the probably more surprising things to people who've already taken this class is I start out with poisonous flowers and poisonous lookalikes because it's really important to know what not to eat. And I would say right out of the gate, most people like, oh, edible flowers. I could get them at the flower shop. Absolutely not. Flower shop flowers are always treated with pesticides, herbicides, and all kinds of other chemicals that would probably kill you dead. So I teach people the safe way to find flowers, the safe way, besides broccoli, of course, to be able to grow them themselves or where to find them, that it is a safe place to get them. We talk a little bit about foraging, what responsible and safe foraging looks like, and how to test for allergies, all of the really good basics. And then we get into all the good foodie stuff, things that you might think of as weeds, like violets or honeysuckle or dead nettle, garlic mustard. All of these weeds have beautiful edible flowers, not just sweet, savory as well. And it's not just for salad. I definitely want to put that out there. Most people, when they think of an edible flower, they picture that lovely purple orchid that gets sat on the side of their plate at a fancy dinner. You can't eat those, by the way. They're kind of peppery. Super good. I actually have a friend who likes to put them in tacos, and properly handled, they're delicious as a taco fill. That said, there are so many wonderful savory flowers that, or even peppery and spicy flowers that are going to just be so surprising to find. And you can use them in things, recipes you'll walk away with. including things like veggie burgers and pilafs. It doesn't always have to be a dessert, although of course I have some good dessert recipes too. And the violet and blueberry crisp, for example, is not only beautiful but homey and comforting and super easy to make. And I think that the big takeaway at the end of the class is that your idea of what is food is going to expand.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. And now I'm thinking about earlier, you said something about magnolia muffins too, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. So like I guarantee you there's going to be even more cool unspoken recipes that we didn't share because you always again go above and beyond and it's over the top with what you offer. So Rissa's class, the Too Pretty to Eat Guide to Edible Flowers is coming up May 25th. So this is like a perfect, week or two after Mother's Day. Like
Mhm.
bring your mom, bring your sister, bring your girlfriends or bring anyone to this event. And it's only $32. So I encourage you guys again to sign up for that now before the spots will be fully filled. And then you can sign up at fireflyhollowwellness.com. We appreciate you guys for watching and we'll see you